What's up, Know Your Books family? We're back again with another off-topic episode 6, and this time we're going to be talking about setting your purpose and setting your goals properly. And I'm going to be using several different books as my reference points that I use to set my goals, my purpose, and to just get a better idea of how to set them, because I know it can be confusing a lot of times, especially in this climate, because there's so much information out there that I think giving just a basic framework to work with is actually helpful. I've put several books together to basically make my own type of structure. I also have a different process, especially when it comes to following through on your goals, but we'll get to that later when we're going to be talking about discipline. But today we're going to be talking about goal setting and setting purpose. Okay, before we go any further, if you're a starting entrepreneur, if you're a blogger, vlogger, or you're just starting in the corporate world, or you're just a student of the game, we suggest books and materials that make you better than you already are. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, and if you're an avid Instagrammer, follow us at Know Your Books. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into this knowledge. So the most important part about setting your goals is your overarching theme, and that is your purpose. So if you think your purpose as your macro, then your goals are your micro, okay? And if you think your purpose as a root of a tree, then your goals are the branches and the leaves are your results when you follow through on your goals. So let's start with purpose. Hill's thoughts, or Napoleon Hill's thoughts in Think and Grow Rich, is that without purpose, you don't really have a compass to redirect your goals as you go, or your planning as you go along, because goals are very nice to have, and even purpose, they are all flexible and subject to change. And that's very important to also tell you guys. I think an amazing part about your purpose is that it's bigger than you, and it's bigger than your immediate surroundings. It transcends basically your goals, okay? And it pushes you in the direction that you want to be. It has to do with values, mission, all these type of things. The question that came up in Tim Ferriss's Tools of Titans was, how do I want to be remembered when I die? And I think that's an amazing question you can use to start actually frameworking your purpose, because I can't give you your purpose. You really have to think about it yourself. But a lot of people are thinking along the lines of good father, son, friend, partner, business partner, all these type of things. How do you want to be remembered? As a kind person who's helpful, that has a positive impact in particular areas in other people's lives. Be as specific as possible, because the more specific you are, the better. Okay, so that's step one. Let's start setting up a purpose. How do I want to be remembered when I die? And this step will probably take days, weeks, and sometimes even months to develop. And after maybe even those months, it would just change. And Hill's ideas on desire and faith are in essence the creation of purpose, because from purpose comes also motivation and persistence. As Charles Duhigg actually says, is that if you want to have motivation, you need to have some sort of control in your life. And that comes from purpose, because purpose is taking control of your own narrative, taking control of your own story. In step 2, we're going to start setting up goals, but we're first going to subdivide the goals in certain categories. And I think that's very important, because we have different categories in our life that we want to improve, and we shouldn't overlap them too much, or else it will become too complicated. Okay? And in Tools of Titans, Tim Ferriss basically divided his book into several areas: health, wealth, and wise. And I think this is an amazing way to start subdividing your goals, so you have a good understanding of where to begin, where to start. So let's get into it, because all of these particular areas are extremely important for your growth. Most habits of successful people include meditation, exercise, goal setting, reading, planning, and just having a purpose, discipline. So these are gonna be the overarching theme when you're subdividing your goals. So health, wealth, and wise. Okay, guys? So health would include meditation, exercise, and everything that has to do with physical and mental health. And wealth will include business goals, so financial goals, sales targets, but also when it comes to basically partnerships and working together with other people in business, business development, etc. All these things basically encompass wealth, all right? And this is a part of your goal setting that is strictly focused on business, but it also has to do with people who are working for someone else, okay? Because if you want that promotion, you also have to set those goals, you also have to set those targets, and I think this is an amazing way to do it as well. So wise goals include anything that has to do with gaining knowledge and skill building. All right, so that includes reading, podcasts, courses, anything to do or everything that supplements your learning process. So we have those three subdivisions of goals. We have health, wealth, and wise. It's just to make it easier for yourself. There are probably some overlapping themes somewhere and overlapping goals that you'll have. But if you subdivide them in these three areas, I think it's going to be extremely easy for you to just make categories for yourself, at least when it comes to your goals, and they're always subject to change. Remember that. Let's actually make a goal. All right, I actually want to go step by step through a process of actually making a goal. This is a reference to Charles Duhigg's Smarter, Faster, Better, where he's basically talking about the SMART model. The SMART model is not from Charles Duhigg, but he basically made some small changes to it, which I think are very important to make. I'm not going to go into those changes, but what I really want to do right now is to make sure that all your health, wealth, and wise goals are in tune with SMART. And that means that they're what? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. All right, we're going to go through each of them, but we're going to go through them through questions. So it's not very, confusing when you're looking at it. All right, so let's go through the first goal that we have. So let's say you have a health goal, okay? And that health goal is I want to lose fat and become more athletic, okay? Then that is, what is your goal? So that's the first question that you're going to ask yourself. What is my goal, or what is your goal? Health goal would be I want to lose fat and become more athletic. Cool. So then we're going to go to the next question, which is what is my specific sub goal? And I think that this is extremely important because now you're going to actually put times and how many times you're going to go to the gym and etc. So for those your specific goal, my answer would be, I have to go to the gym 3 to 4 times at least this week for 45 minutes each. That is my specific sub goal. Okay, cool. So how will you measure success? Okay, for a lot of people that's different. Just as a way to give you an example, you can measure success by saying if I go for 3 times for 45 minutes each week, then that would be a success for me. Okay, so you say actually, max, I want to go 4 times, but if I go 3 times, that's a success for me. And if I go 45 minutes each, that's success for me. All right, and is this realistic for you? That's the next question. The next question is this realistic? Then you say, okay, let me look at my schedule. Is this realistic to put it in? And you're going to be like, okay, yes, if I do it in the early morning before I go to work, I can probably get 45 minutes in, or after work, I can get it into the later evening, or even during breaks. Okay, so you basically already try to make like a schedule in your mind of when can I actually go. Most people would say either after work or in the morning. But yeah, that's totally up to you and has to do with, of course, your own goals. So the next question would be, what is your timeline? I say I go 3 times this week, and after 2 weeks I up it to 4 times, and then after 2 weeks after that I'll up it to 5 times. Then I'm 5 times every week. Okay, and 45 minutes each. And I'm starting next week. That's basically your timeline. Okay, and you say by this particular date I want to have lost this amount of kilos. Basically your timeline when you're gonna be upping your game, when by what time do you want to have lost your weight, etc., etc. This is very important, so make sure to put that in. Okay, timeline is very important. So that's SMART goals. And I think the specific and timely part and measurable part are the most important. Okay, because if you can't measure your success, then you're never going to feel successful. So that's important that you do that, and especially reward yourself for the wins that you have along the way. Going through this exercise will give you more clarity on your goals, on your purpose, on what you want to do. It's just also amazing just to get back to and have it on paper for you to actually say, okay, this is still my goal and this is still what I want to achieve. And you can also make changes, and it is sort of a compass when you're on the road or you're on the move and you're making certain decisions, that it's always in line with your goals or your purpose. All right, and I think this has worked for me also, especially when it comes to my decision making. It makes it easier. It makes it easier to say no as well to things. And I think that's basically it for today. And this is how to set goals, how to set your purpose, referencing Charles Duhigg, Tribe of Mentors, Tools of Titans, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil, all these packed on goal setting. If you have any questions, make sure to drop a comment. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. And if you are an avid Instagrammer, follow us at Know Your Books. Thanks so much for watching. And if you're here, then you should probably know your books.